So as you can see on the screen right now, I just made my client $54,000 on a video that only has 4,000 views. I'm gonna be breaking down how you guys can do similar with YouTube Organic in this video. And this is not the only video that this happened on. We have a video here, 10K. We have another video here, 12K. So like I have all the data behind, and this tracking is old. So if he can make, $54,000 off of one simple YouTube video, in this video I'm gonna be covering the process, the strategy, the funnel, ideation, how we think about positioning on YouTube, so you can go and replicate it for your own info product business. For in this case, for this client, he runs an agency, so for B2B providers as well, B2C, doesn't really matter. YouTube can work for you. And if you stay to the end of this video, you will be able to apply these things. If you don't, I mean, you're just missing out on how powerful YouTube is. So I'm gonna be doing this off the top of my head. I've done a similar process, not only for my client Max that you just saw on the screen, but people like the growth partner, Brez, Ryan Clogg, Samir Defino, Orangey, Alex Choi. Like, I'm just gonna keep scrolling. You'll probably see someone you know on the screen right now. And our process is legit. I've been doing this for a long time, but we're more so now getting better at tracking what's happening through, once again, this tool you guys can see on the screen right now, 54K with only 4K views. And not only that, if I go through the link clicks now, I want to more so get into the process and kind of break things down. We posted this video tons of months ago. We started Max's channel over a year ago, and I mean, if you scroll up, I believe we worked with Max for 8 months. So if you can imagine, this video was posted 7 months ago, and if I come to here, he's still getting link clicks. He's still, like, you can see the old forms are getting booked back here, but he's still even collecting cash. December 17th, November. So like, all these stuff is what is possible with YouTube, and I want to show you once again the process it takes when creating a video to make it possible for your own channel. So like I said, this was not only the only video we did for Max, we did a ton of them, and we were intentional with every single video. Our first video started off with leveraging his social proof. I want to break down how I think about top of funnel content, middle funnel content, bottom of funnel content, and I want to cover that with this Miro board. Like I said, I'm doing this off at the top of my head, so there's not really too much. It's all, you guys are gonna get raw sauce off the top of my dome of how I really think about how did we go ahead and actually collect $54,000 off a video like this. So at the end of the day, YouTube is a platform that comes down to ideation, and YouTube is actually gonna pull in your ideal customer, your ideal audience to watch your videos. So what you're putting out, YouTube sees how your audience feels about it, and if your audience is liking what they're getting, YouTube's gonna continue feeding you that type of audience. So it all comes down to who are you actually targeting on YouTube, and obviously your ideas will help you target your right avatar that you want to hit, which is why we're able to go and collect 54K off a video, 4K views, because we understand what ideas our ideal customer profile wants to watch. How do I think about ideas? Ideas come down to, obviously, once again, the ICP, but I want to go further than that and not just stay on the surface level, because I do think this is possible for any type of business that sells anything high ticket, even low ticket. You can leverage YouTube in some way. What does the ICP want? How do you figure out what the ICP wants? Because a lot of people just kind of like throw videos at the wall, post random stuff. You don't want to do that. You will end up creating content that doesn't collect cash. Like you can see, we have low views, but we're collecting tons of cash because we're intentional. And how can you be intentional? You figure out what the ICP wants. How do you figure out what the ICP wants? You look at the pains, you look at the desires, you look at the fears, you look at the motivators of whoever you're trying to target. And then off of that, you're able to reverse engineer that into actual video ideas itself. Once again, that's the surface level insight. How do you take this deeper, and how do you YouTubeify it to actually attract the right audience? Because just like any other platform out there, there's a certain way that people want to be fed information on platform, and it's the same with YouTube. You have to have the proper title structures, the proper thumbnail techniques, and just like video structures when it comes to scripting, to get people to not only click on your video, because YouTube's a platform people choose to click on your video, but to also watch the video. And once again, this is not one video. Like, we have tons here that we've executed on for, like I said, about 8 months. And I remember we first ran a case study with Max. I believe this was back in like March or something, like super, super old. And at that time, we had closed him 15 high ticket deals, making him over 100K direct from YouTube. And now we're doing over 54K, cash collected in just one video. We have another, this ChatGPT video here, 25K. And I can do breakdowns on literally all these videos and how we're kind of thinking about it. But yeah, to go into the second topic, now you understand ideation. The second part is like, how do you YouTubeify it? So I want to talk about, because I feel like this is a part where people can do, you can have the foundation of who you want to target, but they just suck at actually putting it in front of the right audience and making it something that is, once again, not only clickable, because you have to get the click on YouTube, but also something that is watchable. How do you get them to watch? So I want to cover both sides of this. How do you YouTubeify? So for the click is entirely around packaging. So I want to cover what YouTube packaging looks like, and it's also around formats. I feel like when people copy on YouTube, you watching this video right now, when you think about copying on YouTube, you probably think, oh, copy this, copy that. And there is a lot of copycats on YouTube. You don't want to become a copycat. You don't want to copy everything. But what you do want to do is copy formats. And I'm going to teach you how to actually copy formats in this video and leverage those. When I think of packaging and formats, this comes down to titles and thumbnails. I'm going to cover this later. Then we have watching. So watching, you then think of structures. And when I say structures, this is for structures around scripts and just how to pace your video, like, and make somebody want to stay to the end. And also CTAs, because call to actions matter a ton. If you actually want to turn your content into cash, you can't do that without the proper stuff, right? So and this is another video here, 10K cash collected. This one has 3K views. So yeah, like this stuff is crazy, bro. YouTube is insane, and it can work for any type of business. And I mean, once again, this is like living proof. If you come here, like, you're seeing all these clients that we've worked with, that they have agencies, they have info product businesses, mentorships. It doesn't really matter the ticket price, the niche, the offer. YouTube works generally for probably any business that sells something. So I just want to show you guys how to implement it. So packaging, titles, and thumbnails. When I think about this, you want to go for the format. So how do you find proven formats on YouTube? Essentially, how I think about finding proven formats and just good packaging is, obviously you're going to look at outliers. So I use certain tools. You can use vidIQ here. I personally like to use Mr. Beast tool, which is also View Stats. And I'm not sponsored to promote any of these, but those are what I use for outliers. You found outlier scores, you probably know, especially self-explanatory. I don't want to go too deep on this, but you find an outlier score that is, popping off. You want to see what made that outlier pop off. And at the surface level, it is title and thumbnail, but there's also a surface level, a deeper insight past the surface level, where you look at the outlier structure of the scripts. So I'm going to talk about this later. And once again, this is a bunch of sauce and how we think about it for this client, and all the other clients that we kind of work with. Because like this video right here, 3 new email marketing strategies I used to make $50 million in 2025. So if I think about this structure in itself, right? I'm gonna paste that here. Like, when I think about this structure, so the title structure that we use here is called, so we use new. And this is something that is leveraged on a proven title structure sheet that we have for our clients internally at CCM. So we use 3 new email marketing strategies, and then we leverage social proof, which is a 50 mil. I'm going to talk about the thumbnail and all that type of stuff here soon. I'll pull it up here so you guys can see it as well. Here we go. So come back here. So we have the title. We have the title structure that is proven. We had done, like, you have to do outlier research for every video or leverage a proven title structure. So we did that. For the thumbnail, how I think about thumbnail is, so the thumbnail is what gets attention. So that's how you're going to get people's attention. And the title is what's going to get the click. So if I look at this thumbnail right here, if I zoom in, right here, you guys see it. We have 3 new email marketing strategies I used to make 50 mil. What are they going to see first? So the first thing they see is a thumbnail. They see $10 million total revenue, and they see 3 locked, circles. Then you have max with a thinking face. They're like, what could this video be about? Then your eyes will snap to the title. 3 new email marketing strategies I used to make 50 mil in 2025. And boom, they are intrigued to click. Why are they intrigued to click? Because The title gets a click because it makes them curious. So that's what you're seeing with this title right here. It's making them curious. And then the attention comes in the form of the thumbnail. You see right here the 10 mil. You see the locked circle. So there's something for them to learn. And then Max Curious Face. You can see we also use relevant logos. So we have the Shopify logo. We have the Klaviyo logo. And that's something that appeals to our ICP. That's something that they are aware of and they want to click on. And then on the watch side, like, you have to leverage the same way that you find stuff that works for titles, thumbnails. You find those similar outlier pieces of content, and you look, why was this an actual outlier? Because people try to copy from outliers that they have like aspects to it that aren't copyable. So for example, if they have a big brand or a big moat that you can't copy, you copying their outlier won't make sense. Or if they trend jacked a huge creator and they created a video of someone, it's not going to make sense. You have to look for true outliers that just popped off because it is a good video and they have good structures all around. So that's what you're really looking for. Don't look for a video that has a huge competitive edge that you can't copy. So once you find videos that do work and you see, okay, this hook worked, so you can take something from the hook, then you can see, what did they do in their body? Did they talk about something there that I can leverage, or is there a specific flow they leverage for their CTA? What worked there? And you kind of can even use ChatGPT now to kind of go and reverse engineer the structures of other people's scripts, take their transcripts, whole bunch of stuff, and see what works there and apply it to your script, then tie it into your own way. And then once again, pacing, you want to flow through the video with certain structures. So I like to think about these quickly as like proof, plan, promise for your hook. Give people a reason to stay, actually like give them a reason to watch the video. So with the proof, you're just saying, okay, why should they watch? Plan, what are you going to cover in your video? And this is for the hook, by the way. So plan what you're going to cover in your video, and then promise what will they get by the end of watching the video. And then with the body of your stuff, you can go with what's it called? You're basically going to open loop. And when I say open loop, that's just like introducing a new body. So you're going to have the setup, you're going to have tension, you're going to have resolution. Set up your topic, talk about it, give tension on why they should actually listen to you, then resolve, give them the sauce, give them the value. That's what I'm doing for you guys right now. And then with call to actions, we are doing these very subtly now. We're not hard selling because YouTube's cracking down on hard claims. Don't make any hard claims. Leverage your results. Talk about what you've done for your clients, for other people, and just have it fit into the video very calmly, very smooth. And that's how, once again, that's how we're able to collect cash for our clients. And if it's speaking to your ICP the right way, it will work. And then last but not least, so you have the idea at number one, or you understand ideation. Number two, you understand how to YouTubeify. Number three, how do you become someone that can be an originator in the niche? How can you become someone that isn't a copycat, isn't the same? I like to think of this as building out your competitive edge, but not only building it out, because it can't be fake. That's something that has to be true, but allowing the competitive edge to bleed throughout your content. And how do you do this? Once again, this is going to allow you to be an originator, someone that people look to as the expert, which is why, once again, we're able to collect cash on these videos. And it comes down to really tapping into niche insights. Like, that's the only way. If you're someone that's actually tapping into niche insights, you're going to be able to actually supply the demand of what people want, with your YouTube videos. It's actually similar to how we did this AI video right here. How to use ChatGPT. We made this video probably earlier than anyone else. How to use ChatGPT to make winning emails, e-commerce email marketing. And it's made 25K with only 4.3K views. Why? Because we were able to supply the demand on what the niche wanted before it was actually done. There's probably other examples on this channel where we're leveraging Max's competitive edge. If I scroll through really quickly, let's see. So our first video, obviously, we clearly leveraged competitive edge, 40 mil in email marketing. Here's another competitive edge we had with Max. So he was actually able to go write and design the emails live and actually show the process live, which is huge. A lot of people in this niche don't do that. So if a lot of people aren't doing that, how can we supply the demand and actually bring that to the market? So that's an example here. Watch Me Live Audit, we did that one. And another thing too is like the other side to competitive edge is like when you want to tap into these niche insights, obviously you have I guess there's kind of two sides or three sides to it, because you can have, be an originator niche insights. And when I say niche insights, I'll cover that later. But you have your story, you have your strategy, You have how you're just different, how you're unique in general. So that's one part of it that you want to add into. This is like the personal side. You do want to, people buy from people at the end of the day, so you want to be personable. Then you have niche insights. How are you going to actually, become an originator with the competitive edge? With that, you're obviously looking once again to supply the demand. So I'll put that in the middle part. And how do you look to supply the demand? That's just like being tapped into niche insights. And this could also, when I say niche insights, this could be competitor analysis is what I'm saying. Like, be tapped into what people aren't doing, so you can supply that demand in your market. Because there's people, competitors that are posting videos. Are those videos really supplying what people want to like get, or do you think you can bring something new, something different to the market? That's where you do competitor analysis, see what they're doing. How can you one up them? How are you better? And then the other aspect of it is the niche insights at a deeper scale. So when I say at a deeper scale, I mean sales objections, I mean DMs, I mean comments. So for example, with Max's stuff, he does post short form content, and he has all these insights that we can leverage here, and then it's part of his competitive edge to an extent, because he has the branding and the access to get all this information, and we leverage that and we turn those into ideas. So once you have all of this, you kind of reverse engineer it back. So after you have an idea, you understand what your ICP wants, boom, you put that into a proven structure. Once you have that proven structure, you understand this can work on YouTube, but you don't want to be a copycat. You want to be someone that's an originator, someone that is pushing their own propaganda. How do you do that? You tap into your competitive edge, and you have that bleed throughout your content, not only by just like doing competitor analysis, but being personable and seeing what the market wants. And because of that, we're able to create videos like this one that, it's new, fresh insights. It's also what the ICP already wants. And it's put into a proven structure. So when it goes on YouTube, people see it as something they want to watch and something they want to click on. And that's really, I guess, the quote unquote secret behind how we're able to make $54,000 off of one YouTube video with just 4,000 views. And once again, that's not just the only video. There's tons of others here. And I might make a different video covering everything we've been able to do, but it's just crazy to look at like the bookings, the forms, the link clicks that are still happening to this day, the cash that's still being collected to this day, even though we posted this video 7 months ago. And once again, this is a similar process that we've done for our clients, have generated over $3 million in sales with YouTube organic. And if you want to become a client of CCM, not saying you're going to achieve the same things, but if you have a high ticket offer, if you run a solid agency and you want to run your YouTube the CCM way, just click the first link down below to book a call. I mean, you guys see the results on the screen right now. I'm not personally bragging about it. There's people that are giving us testimonials, case studies, and vouching for our service over and over again. So yeah, besides that, that's all I really wanted to cover for this video. It was longer than I intended, but I hope you got value from it. I hope you guys saw from it. This is how we cash collected $54,000 off of one YouTube video with 4,000 views. You can go ahead and leverage the similar format and process to print for your business. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.